between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. Coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports brings us to Southern California and Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and our home team. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should. And what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Set 30 base.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Let go.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the 30 on second down, Rudolph. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Out of the gun, Rudolph. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Rudolph on first down. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. There are the numbers for McDonald from a week ago. 7 catches, 78 yards. Here's Counter. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Johnson now on 1st down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Rudolph now to throw. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Johnson from the gun, he'll throw. Got his man, that's Mecole Hardman, the rookie. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Mecole Hardman with his first career NFL touchdown. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
X3, 218, chopper. Go.
Here's Rudolph. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is counter. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 43 yards on the ground. Nothing fancy there, a little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut as you described and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
On the carry, it's Samuels. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. From the 16, Rudolph. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
For the catch made by Johnson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Rudolph looking to throw it. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A reminder coming up tomorrow night, Monday Night Football. It's the Packers' 2nd home primetime game in 3 weeks as they host their NFC North rivals, the Detroit Lions. Kickoff 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 Central. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film? And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. On first down, it's Connor. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Now, the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And Boswell's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working.
He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, but it'll be second down. Here's Johnson. Going to throw again. Steps away to his left. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now Johnson on 1st and 10. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Johnson. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Looking to throw. Johnson. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
On 2nd down and 4, Rudolph. He finds his man Johnson. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Rudolph on 1st down. That went into the hands of his tailback Samuels. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They go draw play. This is Samuels. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. A final shot before the break, Rudolph. And he finds McDonald. So we have reached halftime here. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Open man here, Neil Sterling, the tight end. First target, first catch at a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is that right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. This is Barkley. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Defensively, 6 DBs in the game. Johnson now operating from the gun, being chased out left. And Ingram holds it in. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Barkley. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Johnson to throw on 3rd down. Flush to his right. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Mike Evans, his 9th touchdown of the season. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Here's Johnson from the gun. He'll throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Fourth down, no problem. 19 yards that time, and now it's 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the fourth quarter. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. Now Johnson looking to throw on second down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Off the edge, Mario Addison gets the sack. The Chargers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Operating from the gun, Johnson. The quick slant caught. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Mecole Hardman with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Rudolph. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's shoot.
Third and long. It's Rudolph. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Rudolph. And this is going to be incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position.